appear without any recognizable predecessors. Plants have what paleontologists call a very poor fossil record. Or do they? Soft algae fossils are thought to be found as far back as 600 million years ago, so it is clearly possible to find plants if they are there. However, all major groups of plants appear in the fossil record without recognizable transitional forms between one and another. By denying the existence of a creator, who has to be a being with a conscious mind and all the power to implement his decisions, the scientists try to replace him with a formless idea. This idea of evolution finds no support in either the fossil evidence or biological evidence. Islam regards the idea of life, with no creator, as idolatry, and answers these scientists in the following verse. Have they feet wherewith they walk? Or have they hands wherewith they hold? Or have they eyes wherewith they see? Or have they ears wherewith they hear? Say, call upon the partners you associate with God, then contrive ye all against me, and give me no time. Chapter 7, verse 196.
Formless ideas can have as much time as they may, but God with his creative faculties can create in practically no time, which is exactly what the fossil record has shown us.
For decades, scientists have been collecting evidence that contradicts both Darwin's theory and the grand materialistic gloss that usually accompanies it. Many physicists and cosmologists now recognize that the universe had a beginning and that many physical laws look suspiciously fine-tuned for the existence of intelligent life. In addition, biochemists and biologists have discovered a microscopic world of mesmerizing complexity, belaying the simple blobs of protoplasm that Darwin imagined. Moreover, we now know that the DNA that specifies all life is like an information-rich language. Inside every human cell sits a tiny encoded DNA, 5/1000th of a millimeter in diameter, which, if unfolded, would be 1 meter long. Even Bill Gates has observed. DNA is like a computer program, but far, far more advanced than any software we've ever created. This new evidence requires a new explanation. Perhaps one of the most serious challenges to evolutionary theory comes from the arena of information theory. Scientists are beginning to see life as an information-based process in which the DNA contained within each cell is based on a genetic language. In turn, this language contains huge amounts of information, more than would be contained in a library of 1,000 volumes. This amount of information is not a total for the entire organism. There is this much information in each cell. Therefore, any explanation of life must explain the origin of this information. Information does not just happen by chance or random processes, and it could not conceivably arise from purely random physical interactions. The fine-tuned universe is a concept that claims evidence for a divine cosmic plan. As the argument goes, the chance that any initially random set of constants would correspond to the set of values that we find in our universe is very small, and the universe is exceedingly unlikely to be the result of mindless chance. Rather, an intelligent, purposeful creator must have arranged the constants to support life. Again, the concept of the fine-tuned universe was presented in the Holy Quran 1400 years ago. Blessed is he in whose hand is the kingdom, and he has the power over all things. It is he who has created death and life, that he may try you, which of you is best in deeds, and he is mighty, the most forgiving. The same who created 7 heavens in stages, No incongruity can you see in the creation of the gracious God. Then look again. Do you see any flaw? Aye. Look again and yet again. Your sight will only return to you, tired and fatigued. The Holy Quran, chapter 67, verses 2 through 5. If it could be demonstrated that any complex organ existed, which could not possibly have been formed by numerous, successive slight modifications, my theory would absolutely break down. Charles Darwin, From the Origin of Species. Mr. Darwin. Meet Michael Bay, biochemical researcher and professor at Lehigh University in Pennsylvania. Michael Bay claims to have shown exactly what Darwin claimed would destroy the theory of evolution, through a concept he calls irreducible complexity. In simple terms, this idea applies to any system of interacting parts in which the removal of one part destroys the function of the entire system. An irreducibly complex system, then, requires each and every component to be in place before it will function.
As an example of irreducible complexity, Bay presents the humble mousetrap. It contains 5 independent parts, which allows it to catch mice: the base, the hammer, the spring, the catch, and the holding bar. Each part is absolutely essential for the function of the mousetrap. They all must be there at the same time for the mousetrap to work.
Applying this to biological structures, although the tiniest bacterial cells are incredibly small, each is in effect a veritable micro-miniaturized factory containing thousands of exquisitely designed pieces of intricate molecular machinery, made up altogether of 100,000 million atoms, far more complicated than any machine built by man, and absolutely without parallel in the non-living world. In a word, the cell is complicated, very complicated. The complicated biological structures in a cell exhibit the exact same irreducible complexity that we saw in the simple mousetrap. In other words, they are all or nothing. Either everything is there and it works, or something is missing and it doesn't work. Remember, Darwin's mechanism is one of gradual mutations leading to improved fitness and survival. A less than complete system of this nature simply will not function, and it certainly won't help the organism to survive. Indeed, having a half-formed and hence non-functional system would actually hinder survival and would be selected against.